What's up you lot, this is Graffiti Tutorials, and I'm just going to carry on with this little space series that we've got going on here. If you want to see how I painted this planet, then I'll link to the end of the video how I painted that, and I'm basically going to cover this entire wall in like a space sort of scene, and in this one I'm going to show you how to paint different types of stars. Alright, so first of all, the easiest way is to literally get a fat cap on your can, and you want to just put your finger on the back of it like that, and you want to get it to a point where it's not completely spraying, but it's literally just like that, just spitting, and just hold it near the wall and just let it spit a load of little tiny drips onto it, just like that. Now this is better if you're painting on something that's flat down, okay, because then it just does little dots, but when you're doing it at an angle like this, you get some drips that are like little lines and stuff, but that's no big deal because when you stand back you can't really notice anyway, especially if you're just using it as a little background. So if it doesn't bother you, then do it this way. But this is how you get loads of little tiny stars. Literally just rest it on the back like I said, and just let it spit all over your piece like that. Makes a bit of mess on the floor, so if you don't want paint on the floor like me, then make sure you put a dust sheet down. But that's the first way of painting little tiny stars, just to be in the background. Right, so if you want to paint a more detailed star like these bigger ones, because when you look at a space scene, you've got all the tiny little stars in the background, little clusters of them and that, and then you've got the big ones that stand out. Now, you're better off using transparent white for this, but I'll show you how to do it at normal white as well. You're going to need a skinny cap on it. And then obviously you just do a little dot for your star, like that. And then hold it back more of a distance, just to flare it out a bit. Now you could leave that just like that if you wanted to, but if you want a little highlight on it, then obviously you can just do your highlight normally, freehand. But if you're using normal white, then it's easier just to use a bit of a straight edge. So this edge isn't really 100% straight, but just put that edge on there, and just put your edge on it like that. Put the highlight on like that. So you can see it's got a bit of a highlight now, but you are better off using transparent white, so I'll just show you now. You just do a normal dot just with white, and then grab your transparent white, and you can use the edge for this as well, you don't have to. With transparent white, I'll just go in freehand like that, and then do a little spiral of light coming off of it as well, just whatever makes it look more effective. I probably should have used the edge for that actually, but another way you could do it, especially if you're working on like a canvas or a smaller surface for someone, is just use a stencil cap. I'm just testing this stencil cap out for the first time. It's a new size that's just come out, the 6mm one, so the hole's a bit bigger, so it's better for stuff like this, because obviously the 1 or 2mm would have been a bit too skinny for this. Right, so again, just do your dot. And then just go back in with your transparent white or your normal white and your stencil cap, and it's exactly the same thing. I know I keep doing this over and over again, but I'm just showing you different ways that you can do that highlight on it. So obviously a big picture like this, you can just do it however you want, because it doesn't matter too much when you stand back. But if you're trying to paint a nice canvas or something, a bit of a smaller surface, you want the details to look a bit better. So obviously you're going to use a stencil cap or something like that, just to make it look a bit better, especially if it's a commission. You want it to look as good as you can. But all these different types of stars, you can play around with them, do different types of highlights coming off of them, and just make them look how you want. And the way to get extra small dots for stars is literally you can just bounce the tip of the cap just on your surface like that, and you get all these little tiny dots, you see. Or you can just bounce your finger on it. Still the same sort of thing, so it's a bit smaller than just these normal dots that come out of it, you see. Right, and if you want the stars to have a bit of a coloured glow around them, just grab like some transparent, you can get transparent colours, okay. Molotov do them, Montana do them as well, these different colours. So this one is transparent black purple, this one's transparent shock blue. So you've done your white star already, and then you just literally dust a bit of this over the top of it, and it'll just make it look a bit coloured. Okay, now you can do this first before you do your star, so you'd literally just dust a bit on like that and then do your star over the top of it, following the steps that we did. But if you do the star first, then you can just dust this on it if you want the actual star to be coloured. But I'd prefer it if this was actually had a bit of a star white bit in the middle of it. So just play around, see what you think looks best. There's loads of different ways of doing it. We'll see what they look like with the purple colour as well. Just literally dust it in there. See, we now got the transparent purple sort of star. So you can lay this on a bit thicker as well, just to give it a bit of a purple glow around it. But the transparents don't really show up on a black background. So what you might need to do first is just dust a bit of white around it. Just like that, and then dust the purple over the top of the white. Or you could just go straight in with a normal colour, but with transparents you can build it up a bit more and get it looking how you want, whereas a normal colour would just go on too heavy straight away and it might look a bit too bright. So just have a play around. There's a few different ways of doing normal stars and a way to do a shooting star, so it looks like these, like it's shooting. It's literally as easy as this. You just put your can on there and just tap it, just like that. And you can again make them coloured if you want them coloured with the transparent sort of colours. See that? Just dust a bit of that on there. And you could even just do them straight up, just in any colour. Just like that. Just with this sort of stuff you can just have a play around and do stuff however you like with whichever colours you like, and it's probably going to look good anyway. If you want the shooting star to be a little bit bigger, then you can just hold it, instead of putting it on the surface and tapping it, just hold it a bit away from it, just like that. See, so the possibilities are endless basically, but there's a few different ways of painting different types of stars for you, so just have a play around, see what you think looks good. And in the next video I'm just going to carry on with this space scene. I'm going to show you how to paint the coloured clouds that are in space and the rocks and everything that are floating around, so you'll learn how to do loads of different things to use for your backgrounds of your pieces, or if you just want to do just a space painting. So I'll see you in the next video.